Hi, everybody. I hope all is well. I hope everybody is good and everything. This is your girl, Lisa Baxter, and I'm calling this show the viewer's choice. You probably say, why she's calling this show the viewer's choice? Well, I wanted to do something different where you get a chance to put questions in the chat, talk to me while I'm live if you wanted to, or call in on my cell phone if you wanted to, or anything like that. Each thing that I'm going to say, I'm going to give you some of my experience and then I'm going to ask you yours. That way, we'll be having a whole conversation really well together. How about that? A little bit more. Okay, I see our water on that side. Okay, did we get it all? Yeah. Now, let's see here. Okay, now, you see all my masks and everything up. Okay, now, okay. First thing I'm going to talk about is my transplant experience. And, um, well, I did dialysis for 12 years, and I've had my transplant for 5 years. All right. 2016 on the 29th of June, I got a transplant. So, you undergo tests, you get on the list, you wait, and you get your calls. I had 4 different calls. One of the calls that I got was people had somebody more severe. I think it was a child that needed the kidney more severe than I did. And I didn't need it severely. I was just waiting. I was in no hurry because I was basically healthy on dialysis. I just had the low blood pressure thing and stuff like that, low calcium and things like that, and developed a few bone stuff that was going on. But other than that, I was good. I was fine, as fine as could be, able to still hold a job. But anyway, you have to run on a treadmill. You have to, take that test, all kind of tests, your blood, your urine, to make sure you're in top shape that you can undergo an operation. I would like to know if you had any issues, you had any problems while during waiting for the transplant or after you got the transplant. My biggest thing is my husband had passed away, and my sister, the one that was really in my corner. Now all of my family, will jump up to the plate, but I would, with them, I didn't have to worry about, coming home or anything by myself. But when I lived by myself, they made me get a home attendant. I never had a home attendant in my whole entire life, and then I had to do that. But you got to do what you got to do to go home or get yourself there. So I don't know if you had any of that trouble. I had hemorrhoid issues, and I kept telling them that, the transplant was fine. That's what held me in the hospital longer than I was supposed to, and I kept saying, I just need more water, body been through a lot, all kind of stuff, but it was different because I went from not taking, one pill or no pills to taking like 19 in the morning and 16 at night, to now 4 in the morning and 2 at night. But that changed fast. But did you have problems with the pills or any side effects with the pills? I know I went through some things. I have bone issues. I developed diabetes. My high blood pressure that I got rid of came back. So did you have any problems or issues in that type of area? I would like to know. So please let me know. Okay, my number is 917-825-9291. So you can call me and talk to me live. Okay, I got my phone right here. Just in case it ring, buzz, or do anything like that, I can answer you right on the air. Okay, I hope you like that. And if not, maybe you quiet, maybe you private, maybe you want to be anonymous. Maybe you don't want nobody to never know your business. You feel free to type it in the chat, and then I can look back at it and say something. Okay? Now, did you have any fears waiting for the transplant? Or did you have any fears or heard anything? I heard about the pill thing. I know operations are serious. You can die on the table, all kind of stuff. And then you hear, rumors and all the things, and people say, well, that's why I ain't want no transplant, or, you shouldn't be getting nobody else organ. What did you have any fears? Did anybody talk you into any fears, or put it in your head or your spirit or your system that that you would be scared to get transplant, or scared after you got it? Because I know you might have a fear because you don't want it to reject after you started to enjoy it, get a rhythm with it and stuff like that. Who would want it to fail now after you started, getting in the swing of things, going to your appointments and, checking on it and stuff like that, and, waiting for results, and, being able to do all the things you couldn't do while you was on dialysis, drinking more water and stuff like that, and having more fluids and things like that. Just being normal like you was before you even got on dialysis or before you got the transplant. Okay. Now with dialysis, I went 3 times a week. I had 3 hours of treatment. It was 3.5 hours, and I got the 3 hours and 15 minutes. So I went through those 3 times that I had it. I did experience the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I experienced the Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. I experienced going in the morning. I experienced going in the afternoon and the night. So, and traveling, doing dialysis and stuff like that. When I went to Canada, on the boat, on the ship, England, every place I've been, I had to make sure I get the treatment, and all I had was a problem with low blood pressure. My pressure used to drop drastically on there. And then after a while, when I wasn't doing dialysis, it started dropping when I wasn't on it. So I'm like, well, what happened? They said it would drop only when I was on it. It started doing that when I wasn't on it. And I'd be out in the street and everything and start getting dizzy and all of that. And I was glad the people that knew me was helpful to me, because I have the same problem if I eat on time, and I wasn't diabetic or anything, then I wasn't the only one. My sisters are like that too, getting nauseous if you haven't ate, all kind of weird things start bothering you and happening to you. Have you experienced that? Have you ever had to deal with that? I'd like to know. We'd like to know. We're listening in, So, I dealt with that, low blood pressure and low, being anemic and blood dropping and stuff like that. I loved water, and I really cried about the water thing. And then I cried about the baby thing when I found out I'd have to have dialysis every day if I was pregnant. I tried to get pregnant all the way until I was 50 years old. I didn't care nothing about being 50. I wanted a baby. You know what I mean? But I got a chance to be a godmother. I got a chance to be a surrogate, not, surrogate, but a spiritual mother and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And being a good auntie to my nieces and nephews and great nieces and nephews. So I had to take that, and it made me feel like a mom. I thought I'd never reach that point, but I did. Thank God. To God be the total glory. But, I had to get used to the diet and the no salt and, things like that. I don't know if you had a problem with that. And then they said on the dialysis machine, you can pass away, you can have a heart attack. It weakens the heart with the speed of the machine. Mine was 450. Somebody said, "Oh my God, yours 450. Why is it so high?" So it got me scared. I started asking the doctors questions and the people and stuff like that. But you really got to be educated about your illness and what you're dealing with, so you know how to handle it and what to do and how to do it. And I learned that, and boy, I was something else on the wheels, But you just got to do what you have to do. Dialysis is not easy. You don't always feel like going, especially when you're tired or you're sick. It's the last place you want to go. You know what I mean? But after a while, you get into a rhythm of going, and it becomes like a routine. Because when I got the transplant, I forgot that I had the transplant, and I was already ready because it was like clockwork, because I did it for 12 years. One of the problems I think that I really dealt with is when I had to go to dialysis every 3 to 6 months. I would have this thing where I tell my husband, I'm not going. I always went, but I say that. I don't know what made me say it, because I felt like it was true. Oh, I ain't going to dialysis. Nobody making me go. I'm not going. Nobody got nothing to say about it, this and that. I'm in the car. I'm saying the same thing. Oh, you say I'm getting out this car? I'm not getting out this car. And then I get in the chair. I said, oh, I'm still, nobody's hooking me up. Whatever. But I would always do it and go. But I didn't know I would bust out crying. I go into that argument about it and all this other stuff. I be fine all the way time until that time come back around again. I said, Dad, why keep doing that? But it just kept coming back over and over again. Who knows? Who knew? Who knows? You know what I mean? But I talked about it because I didn't know if anybody else. Have you ever dealt with that? Not wanting to go or saying you're not going and still going. What used to get me is that in the center, they make you sign the paper when if you're trying to leave early or you have something to do, maybe catch your plane, you never cut your treatment. You just said a little 15 minutes or that. I know it all counts because the kidney works every day, and dialysis you only go on there 3 times a week. So you need all this treatment and stuff you can get to clean that blood and toxins out. But what got me is when they want to shorten it or make it a little bit of time. I said, well, where's your paper to sign? I always was so true about that because I'm like, what? That in the training about the disaster training when you got to clamp yourself out and get out yourself and know how to get out, they just have you sign and that's good for the state. But they need to really make sure you knew. I knew and I learned and everything. But sometimes you don't even be paying attention. Yeah, okay. Yeah. But that thing is serious. Suppose you really had to go and run and get out. You better know how to clamp your whole blood. I mean, they'll assist you and everything, but if you or you act like they may take you as knowing, even though they're supposed to be sure that but you wouldn't want no disaster, and I'm sure they don't either, you know. So I don't know if you had that issue or that problem either. Or, I was also the advocate in the dialysis centers. I loved that job. It was a little hard and a little tiring because I had to deal with the whole unit and every shift. So I started to try to get smarter and have different captains on the shift so we could work together. But even with that, the people came to me for everything. I guess maybe because I was a social worker or just a people person, a social butterfly, whatever you want to call me. But I would like to know also, how would you improve your transplant experience if you could improve it? All right. How would you improve your transplant experience or the waiting list procedures or how it's done? If you were able to change that or talk to the people to change that, what would you do and what would you say and how would you do it? I really like to know. I'm listening in and I'm tuning in with both ears and all eyes. Mm-hmm. Yes, I am. Let me see. Okay. How many people could not deal with the food or the nutritional things? I used to like the recipes and stuff they gave. They used to print them out, have a lot of sheets so you could take them with you, especially for the summertime, or try to help you during the holidays so you wouldn't overeat or overdo or go too crazy. Even though, a treat is a treat, as long as you wasn't doing this thing all the time and every day. And I know we all can go overboard. I know I can. I try to keep that in check. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. Okay. I'm trying to read my own handwriting. I got my reading glasses on this time. Your opinion on, the system. And that's what I talked about. The dialysis system as well. How did you feel when you first went into the center? You first got your first treatment or when you went into the center? I know when I had my first treatment in the hospital, the lady wasn't even paying me no mind. She hooked me up. She started talking on the phone, the nurse. And when she turned around, I was all crunched up, all crawled up on a ball, my feet twisted in, my hands was all balled up. I was ready for the Lord to take me right then and there. It was such an excruciating pain. I thought that all treatment would be like that because I didn't know what to expect. Even though I had family on dialysis, you don't always understand or get what they're talking about. That's one of the reasons why I wrote books and do shows, because this stuff, you got to really and people sometimes still don't know until they see it. So that's why I've been seen on the machine so it can be visual. see the blood going out and coming in, and you're learning about that. I'm talking. And then I try to talk to you about my fistula and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And that I had, my catheter in my chest and, the neck, the groin, those kind of things. You need to know what to expect. When things will go well, when things will go off, or when things will go bad. It would be good to know that you would cramp on the machine, or they have to give you saline, or you feel nauseous and want to throw up. I don't know if you experienced where they didn't tell you anything, or something happened to you and you wasn't expecting it, or you didn't like it and didn't want to come back. I know people that didn't come back and they passed away. So, you don't want to have such a bad experience that it gets so drastic that you do something drastic. You want to know before that. So did you have any bad experiences? You know anybody that had any bad experiences? What's your opinion about what should happen when you first go into a dialysis center? I know it was so much coming at me, because everybody want to meet you. Everybody want to see you. They hand you a booklet or some papers or something like that. You sign a million zillion things. You know what I mean? After a while, sometimes you would feel like an assembly line. I don't know if you felt like an assembly line. You get to know your name and stuff like that. But like, get in the chair, get out the chair. Your turn, not your turn. Bye. Kind of stuff. And then you get some of them that, even though they were tired, they still tried to be patient and show you love. And you got some, you can see they're just doing it for the money. They're only doing it for the money, or they only doing it, I don't know why they're doing it, or because it don't seem like they have love for the job, or they burnt out, or somebody upset them, or something from home came with them to work. You don't need none of that when somebody putting you on, sticking you hard. You know what I mean? Or they didn't clean their gloves and your arm blow up or got an infection or it swells up and all of that. You don't like that. Nobody they don't like whoever's treating them bad. We don't want no bad treatment either. You know what I mean? So I don't know if you dealt with that or anything like that. But what would you do to change it? Or how would you approach the situation? I mean, this is not just about me teaching you, but you can teach me, or we can share each other's experience or each other's information. That's why it's good to read up on these things. Be educated about your illness. I don't care if it's a cold. Also, know your family history. Find out some stuff. You know what I mean? And if eating can change the whole thing, and you don't have to take a pill, or you have to take a pill for a short time for it to go, and work with stuff, then do that. If you have to work with a nutritionist, if you have to work with to jog a little or run or do some kind of exercise to get your blood flowing, do whatever you got to do to get well. Do what you got to do, because sometimes it's a simple thing. You don't want to get out of hand and it be a serious thing. And now you go to rehabilitation or stay in the hospital, or, you, God forbid, bedridden and things of that nature. You don't have to go like that. And it might not even be like that. Let me see now. Okay. I do a show called, I do add to the show now the question of the day. And then I may ask you what resources that you want from me. I mean, I put resources up there all the time about, the Kidney Foundation, the Diabetes Association, scoliosis, Alport syndrome, all kind of different types of illnesses and diseases. Because remember, like I always say, organizations, associations, and foundations help you in some sort of way, give you information, sometimes give you a stipend or money or something that can help you around the house to feel better, get better. I remember with the arthritis, I have osteoporosis too. And I have a disc on my spine that's leaning on the spine. And but the Arthritis Foundation gave me this thing that you can freeze or heat up, and it made me feel good with that. It gave me also something to open jars. I never thought I'd have a problem with a jar. I used to be so good at that. Boop, boop. And now like, So you got to let them work for you. Always call an organization or foundation, whether you're dealing with this illness or somebody else, and then find out what do they do? What do y'all give, or what do y'all offer? They'll either mail it or email it to you, tell you on the phone, or send you to their website. But whichever way they do, learn something about that so you can help yourself and help others. They, give you a video or a crash course or something about what you're dealing with. And you say, oh, yeah, I got that symptom too. Oh, yeah, that happened to me. Ooh, yeah, my mom, whatever. They will help you in some sort of way. Send you pamphlets, book, or something. And there are books and information out there as well. One of the questions I like to ask is, why do they ask you to go to dialysis 3 times a week? That's one. All right. I don't see the phone ringing yet. I don't even see it lighting up, but I have it there. And I know it's late while I'm doing this show. But you got some people that late hours. I'm really sleepy and tired, and I had such a long day from my job and everything, and preparing for my last 4 shows for the Lisa Baxter show. I've been doing the show 12 years, and I like to do different types of shows. But like I said, I'd like to do movies about dialysis and transplants and stuff too. I would like to do commercials and stuff so people can really get to see what we're talking about. I mean, the shows are helping and the books are helping, but sometimes you want to see it on a full screen, a big screen, and put it out there for people, because you don't know who's seeing, who watching. The more the audience, the more of the awareness we get. And we want much as the awareness that we can get. Yes, we do. But anyway, so that's one question. All right. And what could potassium do to you if it's too high? That's the other question. That's question number 2. Number 3, what are the effects of phosphorus when you have high phosphorus or eating too much phosphorus in food? All right. And what are the issues? Number 4, what are the issues of dealing with calcium problems and issues? Because these are a lot of things dialysis patients deal with. You know what I mean? I had bone issues from a child, and I would always have to have my sister used to give me bone meal, crush it up. It tasted horrible from the health shop and all of that, and things like that. So, you'd be surprised what you deal with or what you've been through or going through, and that you need to be educated about. All right. You got also people dealing with multiple illnesses. Are you dealing with a multiple illnesses or having more than one? I have polycystic kidney disease. I had chronic kidney disease, arthritis, osteoporosis, bronchitis, well, I think we all deal with a little bit of insomnia, gum disease. So sometimes you're dealing with more than one thing, but you have people that have heart trouble too, liver issues, all kind of things, but there are multiple things that they're dealing with, and they need services, resources, or help. Are you dealing with that? How do you deal with that? No call yet? Well, write it in the chat. How do you deal with having multiple illnesses? Even if you got one illness, you still got to know how to deal with that. Well, how do you deal with that, whatever it is? On dialysis, I have a transplant, I have to make sure I don't go to no salad bars. I have to make sure that my food is not more than 2 days old when I cooked it. You know what I mean? I have to make sure it doesn't sit out there where bacteria starts to get in because I left it out on the stove and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So just like you had all them practices in your head, your mind, and your heart, and your spirit about dialysis, don't drink too much water. That's high potassium. Read the label. You know what I mean? All of that, so you have to do the same thing when you have a transplant. Whatever the rules are, memorize it, practice it, get people involved. The only problem when you get people involved, when you want to do anything sneaky or wrong, they're going to call you, pull your coat on it because you told them. And there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes maybe I just, you be honest. Listen, I really want a piece of that cake. You know what I mean? I really want a scoop of that ice cream. You know what I mean? I don't have it all the time. It's my birthday, it's Christmas, or it's nothing of that. I want it because I have not had it in a long time. I want it because I have a taste for it. I know when I was on dialysis, my report card is if my report card said anything was high or a little off, my punishment was I couldn't have it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't have it. I want to live. So I have to find ways to, I treat myself when I'm good. And when I'm not good, you get nothing. You get nothing. Your punishment is to get it right. Get those numbers together. So do you have issues with any of your numbers? Do you have a support group or support team, whether it be friends, family, or on Facebook or wherever? Even if they don't live in New York or wherever you're from, do you have a type of support? You'd be surprised what your support is. I have my church is one support. My family is another support. My couple of friends I have is another support. And some of the people that deal with the same exact thing, there's another support. And you got some of the doctors and stuff were very nice and a great support as well. You can call them, you can text them and stuff like that. So I like that my doctors know each other. If they didn't, I get them, to know each other, because it's important, because they all have me in common. And to have me in common, you got to know everything going on with me. So whatever the eye doctor, the dentist, the GYN say, everybody, I want them to know, the kidney, my nephrologist, my primary, I want them all to know. Yeah, I went to this appointment. This is what happened. This is what was said, or this is a report they give. Or I say, fax that to doctor, Dr. John, fax it to him. You know what I mean? Fax it, send it, email it, or give me a copy and I give him a copy of it, whichever way it go, because sometimes things get lost in the sauce and people pass the buck. You don't want that. I want you to stay on the same thing, because I didn't know they would increase my program. They have not done that, since I've been on, you know what I mean? So they're doing that now. So, but they didn't give me the medicine. A whole month almost went by. So I'm calling them. I shouldn't have to chase you for my medicine. You supposed to help me to keep my transplant and right. So how now you didn't give me the medicine, or somebody dropped the ball on the medicine? I called all three of the doctors. I text them, I emailed them, and I called them. I don't want to have to report nobody or make a fuss or anything, because I like to work with you first. I don't want to shoot you or nothing like that, no real gun. But I mean, in a way of, talking to a supervisor or a higher up, because people don't want to be treated no kind of way. I mean, I might be, maybe, I don't know. I pay you a little out my pocket, and insurance pays you and stuff like that. But regardless of pay, you took an oath to take care of me. Do it. Please do it. You know what I mean? I'm worth living. You're worth living. You know what I mean? So all I'm asking you to do is do what you need to, supposed to, or have to do. You know what I mean? Because if I was the one who dropped the ball and didn't take the pill and everything, you'd hear it. It'd be a big deal and everything. So now it's you again? Come on. What's up with that? Don't do that. Nothing better go wrong with Hannah. That's what I call my kidney. I had her 5 good years. She working like a champ. We don't got no time for that. All right? They said the diabetes went a little high. I'm not used to that, because the prednisone caused that. I also wanted to do a show about the medicines and the side effects of them, and talk about each bottle, each pill, and stuff like that. Did you ever have a problem with medication, or a problem with the treatment, or anything like that? I was sitting on the machine one time, and I'm allergic to penicillin, everything in the psyllin family, and everything. And I had Steven Johnson syndrome, almost died, and everything like that. My organs were shutting down, and all of that. So when I went to dialysis, they happened to give me that. I was talking on the phone to my sister Wendy, and I started, and I started immediately wanting to throw up. She didn't know what was wrong with me. And the lady looked and said, you didn't give her, she didn't name the medicine, Bioxin, because I'm very much allergic to Bioxin. And they said, oh my God, I was throwing up constantly. They shot something inside in my line where I was getting the dialysis at. Bad. That was a terrible experience. Then I had one time where the tech, and he was a very nice guy, he put the needles in wrong, and I didn't get dialyzed at all. All the blood did is circulate without getting clean, or some weird thing. And they said, what? He put the needles too close together, something like that. And my husband hit the ceiling. You know what I'm saying? I was calm about it only because, he had to come back the next day after I went through all that and spent all of my hours there. Came from work and everything. I said, this boy must be having a bad day, because this boy is an excellent tech. Something must be went wrong. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But I understand his husband picked me up. He come to get me from Dallas and stuff like that. I get there myself, and he come get me up because he had to go to work. I had to go to work, But have you ever had any bad experience with a tech or with a nurse? I came in one time from work, and they supposed to fix your chair up real nice. And the nurse said, you fixed the chair or something like that. I said, well, I just came in from work. You working, but I came in from work. And he didn't want to fix it. I said, well, I ain't fixing it either. I didn't want to fight or have words. It's just that I came in, I was tired, I got my bag and everything. I'm looking to just, do what I got to do and get in that chair, ouch, and sit back and, do what I got to do. Come on. You don't start no fight, nothing like that. I always tried to reason with them before I would tell their boss or call the Department of Health or anything like that. I want to talk to you. I don't want to fight on anything. I want us to work it out where we can make things better for everybody. You know, but if you don't take me serious, or you brush me off, or you try to act like I'm crazy or something like that, when you know good and well you wrong. I used to tell my clients, I was social worker 25 years, if I did anything wrong, I apologize and I'm sorry, but you have a right to tell my boss. I told them her name, where she was at, and everything. Because mommy and my mother used to do that. You know, I never thought I'd get that kind of but to be doing some exercise, Shondo. But yeah, so come on, come on, woo, so much, you know. I'm trying to see what else. Medical, giving them any stuff. Yeah, I talked about that. Oh, one of the problems is I had beautiful hair, long shoulder length, back length, really thick, had a lot of body. And when I got Steven Johnson syndrome, my hair fell out. Not only it didn't fall out as much as it got thin. You know what I mean? It seemed like it never recovered. But then when it started trying to come back and everything, being on dialysis so long, it got thin all over again. I don't know what this bald spot is about, if you can see it or not. You know what I'm saying? But I'm 1,000. I keep it 1,000. I keep it 100. So I'm gonna tell you the truth. What's going on with me? I tell you all about it. All about it. What I'm gonna say? All about it. Yeah, all about it. So I don't know if you deal with those kind of things. Have you had any things with your teeth getting loose in the back, or my partials won't fit in because my gums get swollen up, and I had nice partials, and they don't fit at all. And then I had to fit them in. Some of the shows I did, I was talking funny. I mean, I was like, Dad, what's going on here? You know what I mean? But it's just a terrible thing. Even with the gums getting all swollen up like this over the teeth, it's hard to brush them like that. You know what I'm saying? So I tried, the salt water and the different techniques. So I don't know if you're having any gum problems, any calcium problems, or any sleeping problems. I with the insomnia and stuff. I mean, I would drink the tea, sleepy time tea. I remember having what is that? It was something all natural, melatonin, and I had it all. You know what I mean? And I didn't like a lot of pills and stuff like that, but it drives you crazy not to sleep. I was like a wild woman. I don't get no sleep. My eyes get black under there like somebody punched me in them and stuff like that. I rub them a lot, and I get cranky. So I don't talk too much when I'm like that because everything bothers me. Say, Scott, do what? So you got to know yourself. To thine own self, be true. You know what I mean? So I'd be quiet or stay away from people when I'm like that. Or I'll say, I hadn't ate or I didn't get enough sleep. Them the only 2 times I get like that. Other than that, I was basically fine. I don't even think menstrual cramps got me like that. At least I don't remember it, do I? Guess you have to ask somebody that know me. But whatever you're dealing with, please know something about it. And please, whatever you're dealing with, share it with your family. Sometimes they don't know how to treat us. And sometimes maybe they treat us a little rough because they don't know what the sickness or disease is or what it entails. So you have to tell them and let them know and let them see, so they'd understand a lot better. So do you have any questions for me? 917-825-9291. Do you want to email it to me? lbaxter272@gmail.com. I can always say it or write it in the chat or your answer in the chat or maybe announce it on one of the shows about what you've asked. I could do it that way since nobody called in. But this is why I let it be open where somebody can call in or somebody can text in or somebody can write it in the chat. Whichever way they want to do it. I don't know all the options, but I gave you at least 3. And I'm looking to see if the phone ever rang at all. Let me check. Let me look. And I can even show it to you. Nope, not a soul. All of them is from my family. All right, we have an emergency in the family and stuff. And I'm going to ask you to pray for my sister My sister's Yolanda, and she had 2 strokes. Now, nobody is stronger than my sister. She's been on dialysis, 24 years. Um, she's a book writer. She has a doctorate's degree. She has polycystic kidney disease. She worked as a teacher in the New York school system for a very long time. And she had this thing going on, and I didn't know she had it until I came from work today. And I found out, but they didn't let me in the hospital, I guess because of the COVID thing, and they only let one family member at a time, and she has 5 children. But I'm a sister, somebody got to let me up in there at some point. So even my doctor said, I'll stop by and I'll, see how she's doing, and I'll let you know. And my niece said she'll keep me posted too, Tashana Webster, Tashana, oh man, if I get her name wrong, Tashana, my niece. All right. Dela Cruz. I don't want to say the wrong last name, but she's married. Webster's a maiden name, but she's a nurse, and Ramathea is a doctor. I had her on the show before, but and I have a lot of medical people in the family. But please say a prayer for her. I called intercessors and text intercessors to pray for her, and I'm talking to my Facebook family, my church family, my friends. And even if you don't know me, the prayers of strength. I want you to pray my strength, my sister's strength mostly, more than anything, and I pray for my family. We love her, and she means a lot to us. Okay? I was going to wait to say something on Sunday on the show, and I might say something then, because I don't know how many viewers is watching this at this time, because it's in the middle of the night. I can't see the thing. Oh, we got that late. Ooh, it's after 11. I think I started at 10:30. I'm not sure. But I wasn't going to do it. And then I said, well, let me do this, because I wanted to, was going to do this on Sunday to see what reaction I would get, because I know people are always looking at the show. But then my guest came. That was my backup show. I was going to do this as a backup show. But I can always do it again, even though I did it this time. I can always do it again for the fact that I want audience participation, and that was the main reason. Even though I have a hard time reading the screen, but I would have read it. That's why I had people to text me or call in. That way I can read the question off if I didn't see it in the chat, And then if people wanted to be heard, their question, they could be able to say it through the phone. So I thought that was different and new. So that, who knows, that might be something. One of the things I wanted to do is called You Ask the Question, So we wanted to get some things answered. So I wanted to go around in the street and ask people questions. But now with the COVID, I don't know how they feel about being filmed, because you got to get people's permission. You're taping them. But I wanted to ask that. I didn't want to really pre-ask them, because I didn't want it rehearsed, just like I don't want my show rehearsed. I like people to be themselves and loosen up, be good with it. But, it's that way sometimes. But that was something different and new I wanted to do. So I thank you for staying up with me tonight and checking on your girl, checking on your sister and stuff like that. And I'm praying for you, and I care about you. And I will miss you. I will miss you. I love you guys. I did the show 12 years, and I will be doing little stuff off and on. But I want to do other things that may need to be done. And this takes a lot of planning and a lot of doing, and stuff like that, the shows and everything, and getting the people, and the people jump ship sometimes. And sometimes it's not really their fault. They may forget, and you try to remind them, but it's hard. You're dealing with your own stuff and your own schedule at the same time. And then some of them just come through like gangbusters and do a fantabulous job. Sean and Joe, yes, they do. But I appreciate any and everybody. I have so many people on the show from all over the world. And I thank God for that. And I've had so many different topics, themes, and just all kind of stuff that to put things out there to let you be brave enough to tell your story as well. Well, I won't detain you or hold you the rest of the night. I must work tomorrow, and I have to do something in the field the rest of the day. So I have to be more peppy, and together, and stay busy until they let me in the hospital to see my sister. And she left her phone here, and she don't need no phone dealing with that type of stuff that she's dealing with. And she's very private, but I said it because I wanted the prayers. And, I'm not private like that. Something wrong with me. Y'all better just get on, start praying. Start praying. I don't care if you know what it is, start praying. You know what I mean? The enemy needs to know. Sometimes when you pray, you got to say exactly what it is. If it's a migraine, it's a headache. Somebody's near death's door. Whatever the prayer is, you want a job, you want a baby. You know what I mean? You want to get out of a situation. You sometimes got to be exact with God. Even though he can read your mind, and he knows what you're thinking before you thought it. It's good to say it out. Let the devil know. Listen. You know what I mean? I want my finances right in Jesus' name. And mean it and say it and stand on that scriptures. I shall not die but live to declare the works of the Lord. You know? You're talking to a woman that's been all kind of sicknesses, deal with all kind of stuff, and I'm still here, 58 years old. So me and my sister have outlived my parents who died early. You know what I mean? So I don't know if you have no family or have kidney disease in your family or any other illness or disease. 6 of my siblings were on dialysis. 2 of my aunts, my uncle, my mother-in-law, and my great aunt. And all of them didn't have polycystic. Some because of diabetes. You know what I mean? Because diabetes is number one, and you got your high blood pressure and your lupus and your kidney diseases and not drinking water and kidney injuries and medication that causes it too. So I don't know what caused you to be on dialysis. Put that in the chat. What caused you to be on there? I had polycystic kidney disease. That's why I was on there. Did you know about it? Do you know about it now? Do you study it? And do you teach your family? It's good to let the family know so they can look out too. Sometimes they don't know. Even if you're doing a business, teach the family anyway. Maybe they don't even like that business you in or interested, but you never know. They might have to do it. They might have to help you, or maybe get a job into the same thing that you're trying to teach them or tell them. And they got a heads up because you gave them that knowledge. You gave them that gold nugget. You gave them that encouragement and that push. And sometimes the young people need to know that. But they really don't know everything. None of us do. And you have to swallow that. Okay? Well, V for victory. I see you on Sunday with my great guest. Yeah, I got a guest this Sunday from Live on New York. That's right. Yes, Miss Sophia is coming on, and Sophia is coming on the Lisa Baxter show. She got a lot to do and say, and this is a special type of kidney month for multiple ethnic kidney awareness month. I hope I'm saying it all right. It was so long, but I know she wanted to talk about it, and that's why she wanted to do the show this month as well. So you be well, you be blessed, have a restful night. Bless you and your family. All right. And take care of yourself. Appreciate you. Thank you for sharing, caring, and making us go viral. All right? Thank you so much for all of your support. Peace. What about Shay